Well, we're full of rugby at the minute. My goodness. How
Oh,
good was that?
how good was that? Saturday was a joy, wasn't it? We've whinged, we've moaned, but my goodness, what a Six Nations. And what a way to wrap it off, Tommy. Last kick of the whole championship to decide it. Bananas.
It was bananas. It was, listen, so there's something like Six Nations, to be fair. I think that was peak Six Nations. I don't think it's ever going to top that. I mean,
Yeah.
nearly a few people mentioned to me how that kick at the end is almost going back to '09 with that Stephen Jones kick at the end of the game. And of course, we came out the right side of it that time. But listen, looking back on it, I mean, even just in terms, what was your situation? So the two of us were working at the
Yes.
match.
Yeah.
Then so I had to listen to the Welsh match on the radio. Great to see
Yeah.
them getting a win, and then got myself back. I was home in time to see the start of the French English match. What was your
Brilliant.
situation?
I had to watch it in the train on the way down with kind of broken, kind of every now and again, the way like
Oh,
your internet or Wi-Fi goes and you'd kick in and kick out. But everyone was pretty much in high spirits after the Irish match. And I think there was an essence of, people were hopeful and wantful for that, but people had enough, didn't they? I felt. Everyone was leaving the Aviva delighted with a Triple Crown. The aspirations, it wasn't until the last 10 minutes, and I actually managed to get home, and Jenny had a few of her buddies over. There was about 8 of them sitting around, all glued to the match, and the
were
kids.
they?
So I walked in the door and all I could hear is, "Come on, England!" I was like, am I in the Twilight Zone?
I know, but it was like that, wasn't it? I mean, geez, like I think we won the Triple Crown, and as you say, we were kind of content with that. France
Yeah.
are going to smash England, and listen, it's been a fairly positive experience. But like the last 10 minutes, that English, like credit to them, they were exceptional, weren't they?
Yeah, they absolutely were. And to be fair, the heat was on and everyone was out with the knives. I don't think it solves their Six Nations in terms of the realistic thing is they did lose 4 games. But and the biggest problem again is that they're good in that situation as the underdogs, which is really sad. I think that's really sad. But you look at some of the performances, man. Marrow, like it was a week for the leaders, wasn't it? You look at Doris for Ireland, but Marrow, I told you, his performance was quite incredible. Chesums as well, man. He was everywhere. The intercept.
That intercept.
Oh, just see it.
Do you reckon the
Shades of me
intercept-
and Welford Road, fella, wasn't it?
Do you think that? Sorry, go on. What happened to Welford Road?
Get out of it, Tommy.
Go on. What happened?
What you mean you don't remember this, man? I ran it in from 50 meters.
You did?
Oh, go away, Tommy, will you?
What, you did caught an intercept?
No, a ball bubbled off for breakdown around the kind of halfway line, and I motored it home.
For Munster, obviously.
Munster against Leicester back in the day. You're embarrassing me now that you don't know this. You see, you're just too interested. My highlights have to be like prank monkey stuff, the jocks, the ducks, or your man didn't play rugby at all.
Listen, not everything just revolves around Munster rugby. You know, we don't all have to watch every second of every minute.
That's true. That is so true. I was just
right. I'm going to YouTube. Is it on YouTube?
I hope it is. Yeah, I hope it is.
I'll go and have a look.
Yeah.
Well, listen, that Chesum goal. But do you think Jalibert? Listen, can we not discuss this as well? Because this is the biggest joke of the whole thing. The kit clash. How did they get away with the light blue and the white jerseys?
It was a shambles, wasn't it? It really was. It was awful. Like, you know, the way we spoke about the Ireland Wales game, and that can't go ahead. And then, like, someone must make the call, be it the Six Nations or World Rugby, to sanction that. Like,
it was insane.
I was convinced it was an opportunity for England as well to try to flog another jersey, and that they were going to end up wearing black or something just to. Yeah. But it was they were so close. Anytime the camera went wide, you were like, this is a nightmare. It was shambolic.
Even if France had navy shorts with the blue jersey, do you know what I mean? Like, at least you could distinguish them. It's honestly beggars belief when you think that Ireland were able to wear green and Wales couldn't wear red because of people obviously with colour blindness or with issues with their eyesight. And then they couldn't do that. It was, listen, bonkers stuff. Like,
there was only one
it was
way to
cool
tell them.
jersey for France. Go on.
Oh yeah, it was a cool jersey, no doubt in that. But like, I think there needs to be a difference in if you're going changing your kit. Like, it can't be for fashion reasons. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not on. The only way I could tell them apart at times were the socks, the red socks on.
Yeah.
You know, and I actually don't think it was kind of fair to England as well. You know what I mean? Like, if they'd worn their proper national jersey, like, of course. But then the thing is that jersey sold out, didn't it, in a matter of minutes? That Le Crunch, it's called,
Yeah.
and Adidas are sold out of it. So, you know what I mean? We can whinge all we want, but it's all about marketing now, isn't it? Like,
Well, listen, like, and it was a big occasion for them, but I just think if you're going to wear that, surely you got to agree it with the opposition. Like, I would imagine the referee, whenever they're coming out to do the coin toss, like, are you serious, lads? So what's going on here? I was surprised. England are feeling a bit aggrieved, though. They kind of think that the referee's done them a second time towards the end of the game.
Yeah, I've seen an awful lot about that on different things. Now, the penalty, the one they're showing on kind of social media clips, isn't the one. He was playing advantage at that point. It is a penalty.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was just the kind of, then it was probably finding where it needed to be on the pitch, which he shouldn't really be in charge of. That's his assistant referee or touch judge or whoever it is kind of normally marks that spot for them, or the TMO could help them out. So there was a bit of confusion. But I felt this for a while, and we've got better at it. You know, the way you can just rub referees up the wrong way. And I think England are at that point at the moment. They're as bad as the kind of Chelsea team for kind of encircling them or something like that. But I said it to you the last time about Sam Underhill's manner when he was speaking to the referee. And then you just listen to an awful lot of them. And just even, I noticed in the game, twice in the match, they're all running that ref line. The English players are run, which everyone on the pitch knows that's a no-no. You know what I mean? You don't run it. I remember Anthony Foley going crazy over that. He was there like it's a cheap, like that. We don't do that. You know what I mean?
What do you
ref
mean?
line. You know, when the ref gets in the defensive line, he could be in, say, between A or B, or just one outside. He's looking in at the ruck, or she's looking in at the ruck, and boom, you can scorch in at that line. Exactly.
And what? Axel would have said, don't do that. That's 100% on.
No, I don't think it's on. I don't think how can you can't run at the referee. Same, Marrow dragged him into a ruck at one point. It's all these, I feel, this is my own belief, I just think they're disrespectful things. Like, he's not a trained professional for the collision area of the game, or she's not trained. And we have to mind them. Like, we have an onus on them to, like we say it about someone going up for a high ball, we have a duty of care. We have a duty of care to look out for the referees. And like, you plowing in, and I know everyone will say if they're going to put themselves in the defensive line, then you've got to take advantage of it. I don't agree. Like, if you were in the defensive line, Tommy, and it's happened to me loads of times, and you're there, sure, you got to move, like, because I'm blindsided with you being in my path. Yeah. So you have to find
if you make contact with the referee, then obviously, and you bump into him, then you're not going to get away with it. Yeah, but if you run that line and he moves out of the way and you get through, I think fair game. Like, that's for me as a winger anyway. But you're always trying to look for a gap in the defensive line at some stage. But I do agree that England, like, they've had 8 or 9 yellow cards. I mean, it was insane. Their discipline was ridiculous. What did you think of the Ellis Genge one, though? Like, pulling down the maul, do you think it was deserved of a yellow card and a penalty try?
Yeah, it was a lot, wasn't it? It was a big sacrifice at that time. And
right at half time.
Yeah. I just think their rapport, because remember, we were going on about it. We just had a bad rap with refs for a while. And I think that's where England are at the moment. And I know they're in a difficult situation. And it gets massively frustrating when you get probably inconsistency. But I just think their tone and their way and the way they treat referees isn't good enough at the moment. And it would definitely be something, if I was in that environment, I definitely think you'd be pulling up, kind of going, listen, we got to control what we can, you know what I mean, in terms of the calls, but just the way we're talking to them, not good enough. Or even the fact too many people are talking to them. Everyone, like, at one point, I think I heard it definitely over this weekend. Who was refereeing our match?
Luke.
Luke
No, I
Pearce.
can't remember.
Luke
Pierce.
So what? It was Luke Pearce. He
Your man,
borrowed
yeah.
Wayne's Barnes' whistle anyway. It was an old anti-Irish tin to it at times. But yeah, I remember him just going, I can't concentrate here. So many people are talking to me. And you know what I was thinking?
Yeah.
You'd have this in the morning. No one knows how difficult your job is. You've directors, producers, timing, cameras, all talking in your ear. And that's what they have now with assistant referees and TMOs and check calls. And then could you imagine trying to have a conversation as a player on top of it? So
it was really interesting actually, because I was doing the commentary on the show and you could hear the Scottish players all up in the referee's ear, and Luke Pearce said to him, listen guys, I know there's a lot of emotion here, but you've had 4 people right up my face ask the exact same question. And I think the occasion got to Scotland. I think that they were overawed. They made mistakes. I think they played really well. It was a cracking match between the both sides. But I think the leadership, the main players stood up for Ireland, where I just think from a Scottish point of view, Ireland harried. They were after Finn Russell the whole game. He just didn't look that confident and comfortable. You could see him walking off at halftime. He was really pissed off. Tuipulotu the same. I just don't think their big guys stepped up on the biggest occasion. And then I suppose from that, do you agree with me on that side, or do you think actually it was the coaches? Because I do also think that it was a coaching masterclass by Ireland, particularly in that first half.
I agree. I agree with the last point. And to your first point, I can understand it, and it was frustrating, but I purely put that down to the Irish performance. I actually think that Irish team made the air thin. So they basically ran them ragged. Everything was confrontational. There was, like, the ball and play time, I'd say, was quite frightening, but also the collision rate, everything. There wasn't one step back in terms of intensity. Like, Tommy, the first 10 minutes, man, when they went try line to try line, 7-all, like, and you're right. I actually think the point of difference was the nous. I think the point of difference was the coaching. Like, if you look at Ireland's try, the Osborne try is completely off the train. No, it's brilliant. Doris's ability to take it right to the line, and you don't respect him, boom, he's motoring on there, and then being able to pull it back out for Jack and put Jamie under. But then
Same as Balakoons as well, to squeeze him up in defence, sling it out to him,
and
put him in space.
McCluskey's pass for that, just man, and even Balakoon's finish, man, too. Like, you know better than me, but that he still has a lot of work to do there, and actually the finish of it to make sure he doesn't get into touch. I thought. Even there was one time they tried that the lineup where they put an extra a back in the front of it, and you could see, like, honestly, the electricity or the energy out of the Irish team. They knew it, so straight away they come around the front, boom, it's wiped out. I don't know who wipes it out the front, but Tom O'Toole gets on and then turns it over, and it's like, you're playing all your aces, lads, and we have all the answers. I just thought. Remember, we were saying it last week. You need to, last week of Six Nations comes down to how smart your coaches are. I don't think, we're so lucky, man. We've the best. We've the best in that room.
I want to discuss that with you in a few minutes first, but I just think, I think we rode our luck a little bit. We won all the collisions. We won all the 50-50 balls, and that comes down to intent, which Andy Farrell questioned at the start of the competition. But the bounce of the ball certainly seemed to go our way a few times. Like, I was doing the commentary with Andy Nicholl, and like, he wasn't making any excuses at all, but you could just see his frustration that any time the ball went into the rock or into 50-50 on the ground, whatever else, Ireland just always seemed to come up with it. Seemed, and then straight into attack. And this whole transitions, like, whenever we question the game of rugby, Donncha, we're talking about, like, some of the high scores in all the matches. Like, you know, people are saying, don't let there's too much kicking. To be fair, it's working. Like, there is huge mismatches all over the show. It's exciting.
I agree. I totally agree. I think in a roundabout way, it's taken a massive amount of time and frustration to get to this exact point. And what I'd say now is stay the course, like, steady away. We do not need rule or law changes. We do not need more TMOs or interventions. Just leave this settle now and leave it grow, because everyone's going to start evolving the game a little bit. But what we don't need now is, you know what I mean? And then a law to be changed or something like that, which just constantly happens. I think the game is in such a beautiful spot now. It's been so frustrating up to this point, but it was magic. All games were magic this weekend. And you're right, like we were going on about Sean Edwards, and have no doubting, man, that he gave it to that French team. But then they still take 40 or whatever it was. You know, you're like, the game is brilliant at the moment, and it's so good to watch. It's like, as we said in the Irish game, like 14 points in the first 10 minutes, end-to-end stuff. You're like, you can't, even if you don't know the game, it's good to watch.
I watched Sean Edwards being interviewed. Actually, he got interviewed by ITV after. It was very funny, and him talking about trying to set up a defense for that. He's, just conceded 46 points, and he's like, yeah, but when you've got people doing this, and you've got like it's so hard. But then he finishes at the end. He goes, "This is my 7th one of these, by the way."
Yeah.
7 Six Nations. That's some going, to be fair to him.
Because I think it was Topsy Ojo was doing the interview, and he was there. I think he starts with "Congrats on your 6th" or something like that, or your 5th, and or whatever it was. He was leaving him know that 7 for him. And I've also seen something on social media where he's chatting to one of the French players,
He was
kind of showing him 7. Like, good on you, Sean. They're hard to earn, Philip.
Whenever you're talking about how lucky we are, right, from an Irish point of view, Farrell at the start of this campaign questioned the intent of the player. Like, you think back to that shambles against France on that Thursday night, everything about that was such a disaster. But it looks like he's in contract negotiations. What a time to be doing that as well.
His agent is walking in like Vince McMahon.
He's dropped a hint. He says, I love this, and said, listen, I'm going to have to obviously go into negotiation with the IRFU. But I'm also seeing in the English media them saying that the English media or the RFU need to do anything and everything that they can to bring Andy Farrell back and get him into the English setup after Steve Borthwick. And like, I can't see it happening, but like, surely they're probably looking at an English-born, played for England, must be thinking, God, he could be the right man for us going forward.
And worse still, they had him, man. He was in that setup and they booted him all out. Like, if you think of the coaches they left go, you know what I mean? It just shows how unconnected and, the strategic alignment is just altered a little bit. But I'd agree with that sentiment. If I was the RFU, the English Union, I'd pay any money. Honestly, I would be the ballsiest you've ever been. I think it should be like, and make it a marquee statement. Make it like we're totally, like, you come in and just totally, because they have it, man. They have revenue. They have like the wealthiest union in the game, and they have
the
like
players really too. Like, abundance of players.
And imagine the beat he would get out of them. You know what I mean? Like, genuinely, I do put it down to an awful lot of coaching at the moment. I put even the Autumn International and the kind of poor start to France in terms of that transition of getting used to him again. But then you see guys like Dara Murray coming in for his first cap, like on the pitch. What was he? You know what I mean? And boom, brilliant try and also block down. You know what I mean? So clued in and on it. Look, that management group, and he deserves the credit because he's surrounded himself. We know those lads. Like, if you surround yourself with people that are going to challenge it, like Johnny, Simon, you know what I mean? I don't know Andrew Goodman, but Paulie, like, you come up with a poor strategy, man. They're questioning and calling you out, and they're not
don't
yes
forget
men.
Fogs.
Fogs, sorry. They're not nodding dogs, They're the kind of fellas that will kind of go, I don't agree, man. So I think that's a bit of bravery.
I'd say David Humphreys, the IRFU director of performances, go open like, for fuck's sake, not England now coming in with the blank check. Because it's like, match this, match this.
But do you know what? For days like Farrell gave us on Saturday, or that team gave us, and the RFU gave us, like, I think it's worth the money.
He deserves it.
Yeah, and not only that, look, we've been there. We know you're going to have to work for it, but I'd love it to get to the point where those lads can finish playing or finish coaching, or that he could wrap up and secure his family's future. But I do think England need to have, I said this even before Saturday, I hope they don't just basically mask over with a brilliant performance against France, and it was, but you need to have a look, don't they? They really do, for the the playing population and all that, we've said it before, they should definitely, like, one win in the Six Nations. Oh, like, you know what I mean? Really is.
First time in 50 years, yeah. So, like, if he holds on to his job with that, and if South Africa coming up next away from home, it's not going to get any easier. Just
Yeah.
quickly finishing on Ireland. Faz said we're the hunters, not the hunted anymore at the start of the campaign. Where do you see Ireland now in terms of where do we sit in terms of world rankings going into world map, other teams around the world? Do you think we're still a bit off the likes of the France, maybe the
Yeah,
South Africas,
yeah.
New Zealands?
Yeah, I think, Tommy, for the rest of time, we'll always have to play beyond ourselves. We really
Yeah.
will. You know what I mean? It's just the game isn't as big here. Like, if everyone that played hurling and football suddenly started playing rugby, then I'd say we've a chance. But we simply don't. So for us to keep batting like we do, it's quite incredible. But the consistency, and like, I don't think Andy Farrell deserves the credit, definitely, and that management group, but the IRFU deserve an awful lot of credit for that consistency of effort. It's quite incredible what this Irish rugby team has done. And I actually think they're so disrespected by the other home union kind of media sites. You know what I mean? You won't hear a whole lot talking about us. Everyone was quick to jump straight in with the aging squad. It's like they don't want us to do well. I know they feel aggrieved that they don't get access to our players, but you know what I mean? Like, they haven't earned the right either. And when you're always kind of calling out, they never champion Irish rugby. Like, they should. If I was the English Union, I'd be sitting down with David Humphreys and saying, how'd you get this motor? You know what I mean? Show us under the hood here, because what we're doing is quite incredible for how small we are.
100%. But I know Conor O'Shea is the director of performance over in England, an Irish man as well, who's very close to Humph. And from everything I've heard, is that what they are doing behind the scenes, this conveyor belt of talent coming through, is exceptional. But just, he made 9 changes 2 weeks ago against Italy. The fact that they can make 9 changes and still get a kick out of the team is insane. But something doesn't seem to be clicking there for the minute. And as you said, to lose 4 games, even as exceptional as they were in that last game, there's something not quite right. What about the other match?
I was just going to make that point about Conor O'Shea. I do think they're on to something there. If you put the right people in the right places, he can start giving you. It's an annoying word for me at the moment, the pathway. Conor O'Shea can develop you a pathway. But you know what I mean? Everyone's got talent. You know what I mean? Like, it's how you transfer them into the team. And what annoys me about England is it's clear you can see what, and it's evolved a little bit, South Africa's style is. They have a set piece that can dominate anyone. But lately now they can play, you know what I mean, a brilliant brand of rugby. It's clear France's identity, Wales's identity is clear when they play. Ours is too. You know what I mean? It's multi-phase, it's high work.
Yeah.
You don't know what England are. You know what I mean? Not even England know what they are. And then that's something they have to sort out. They need to have like the English way and develop people within the pipeline to play that style. And like, start seeing your English number 8 in 4 years' time will be able to have this skill set, because we need this game to go that way. So I just don't see it at the moment, but I don't doubt someone like Conor O'Shea for turning the tide in terms of giving a pathway.
You even put that to Ben Youngs and Dan Coles at the start. We did that joint podcast with them that, listen, you have to have that swagger. It's what people expect of you. And the fact that you're trying to mask it to try and appease everybody else, who gives a fuck? Like, no one's going to like you anyway. So just go and enjoy it and make the most out of it.
Yeah, what's really sad for me with them is I think they'll actually be happy with the weekend, and that might be enough for them. You know what I mean? The weekend will keep them going and everything. It's just sweep it under the carpet a little bit instead of having a proper look. Like, to be fair, they should be doing so much better for the resources they have. It's
totally. Here, talk to us about resources. Italy obviously lost out to Wales.
Yeah.
Which I think we're both kind of happy about, just in the fact that Wales just needed a win. They needed a win at home, and tell you, fair play to them. They got off to a hell of a start against Italy. And Italy pulled it back a bit.
Yeah, exactly. You talk about, the classic at the moment is a fast start. And we know,
Yeah.
the way everyone gives this fast start, everyone tries to fast start. But
Yeah.
you actually come up with plays for that opening block, isn't it? You know what I mean? You would drill the first kind of set piece and their thing, we're going to go into this shape and stuff like that. So you understand what we're looking to do. Wales just came out, man, and they were flying and they were so on it. I do think maybe squad depth is a little thing for Italy when you kind of get through it, and just the amount of contact and attrition and highs they've had over the last while. It is exhausting, man. We both come back from Six Nations camp when we'd more time off than this current group. But you were wrecked after it, man, weren't you?
Totally.
You were absolutely spent.
It's one thing I'm wondering, because Leinster play Glasgow this weekend. You would have to think that a lot of those players are all going to be rest, because they looked out on their feet at the
Yeah.
end of the Ireland-Scotland match. Obviously, when you're there, you're at the stadium, you get to see them. And generally, they were, and because they haven't had the 2 off weeks in the middle of Six Nations, it's so much more demanded for them. And as you say, for the likes of Italy, who don't have the same player pool as maybe other countries would have, Wales, Ireland
Yeah.
probably to some extent too, but particularly the likes of Italy with only 2 teams in the URC, to be able to front up 5 weeks in a row as well was fantastic. But I love their attack. I think they're
Yeah.
like lemon
Brilliant.
just their attack in midfield is just so exciting as well. Like ripping it up at times, class.
Yeah, it is. It's great. And look, I suppose it is hard to keep the energy and the emotional highs. And Wales came with a real want as well to kind of make sure that they didn't
Yeah.
finish it like as poorly as they could. And I think it's reignited Welsh rugby. And look, we're all kind of shouting from as well, because, if you could give us another Six Nations like this next season, it could be brilliant again, Tommy. But yeah, we were kind of glad to see it. I would have liked to see that ruthless edge of Italy to kind of say everyone kicked us when we were down, but Wales found a way again to get over the line, and it was end of a
I think
great
for the good,
championship.
the good of the Six Nations, it gave everybody a taste of something. And I also just think that, like, for just the disaster that Welsh rugby is in at the minute, I just think it was
Yeah.
so important that they were,
But
and for Steve Tandy, like the journey that he's on, because it's
Yeah.
not going to be like, it's not like they get this one win and it's all going to be plain sailing for here. Like, they have a difficult run for the next couple of years. I think it was like 15 Six Nations matches or something without a
Yeah,
win.
that's right.
Like that's
tough.
and that kind of eats into your head. Like, can you actually win here? I mean, whenever, what were they, 31-0 up? And all of
Yeah.
a sudden Italy are creeping back, and there's that tap tackle, and like they get themselves to 17. But geez, there must have been times at that stage where Steve Tandy is kind of going, like, we
jeez.
cannot really, we can't
Oh,
throw
well,
this away.
it would have been a nightmare. It really would have been. Yeah, but thankfully not the case, especially this one. And look, it's part of me is kind of sad it's over, though. I was saying this to you before. I loved it this time round. I'm gutted that we won't be able to document it. Like, I was just thinking, could you imagine if Netflix followed the Irish team just for the moment the whistle sounds after, so they pick up the Triple Crown and everything they'd done up to Ramos's last kick. Like, but you just put that out. Like, imagine the kind of having the crack, having the fun, and then, oh my God, this could be on for a championship.
Yeah.
And like, even like, there's repercussions to that, isn't it? Like, there's a big money sway in terms of the win bonuses for the unions, which would mean an awful lot. But that's what I was saying again. You'd be delighted for the RFU. Ireland finishing second as well, surely is helpful in terms of revenue for stuff like that when it comes to win bonuses and stuff like that from the Six Nations. So
listen, it's cracker final day. Really was. What an amazing, like, Six Nations our rugby we give out about, and there's just one thing. It is the jewel in the crown. Six Nations. It always delivers, doesn't it?
So important. It's just great. And like, now that you're out of it a little bit as well, Tommy, you see how important it is for dragging you out of the depths of winter, isn't it? It's that point, you know what I mean, where you just sit you're there like, I've enough. And if you just, the Six Nations can lift the spirits. And look, this one was special, but I think you just made a point earlier on, though. I hope those players get rested. I know the English probably won't, and the other unions have different ways. They'll just get put out there again and flogged. But I hope we, like someone like Furlong and Tyke Byrne, for what they produced and what they've and the body of work they've behind them. I think they need a bit of a rest and to, you know what I mean, to be looked after. Even McCluskey, man, it's just. How many good performances were there this season? You know,
Amazing.
Yeah, Jack,
Come on.
Incredible. You know,
The
6
Ulster
from
lads.
7.
Ulster lads. This is what's
Balakoon.
needed in this Irish team.
Agreed. Keep them coming, man. When they play like that, McCluskey, man, that ball to the corner. You know what I mean? And like everyone will chat about him being abrasive in contact and offloading skills. There's your playmaker, deadly.
Well, you think of the tackle back with Marcus Smith. You think about the skip pass to Balakoon for that try. Like he probably, I don't know, have they announced the player of the tournament? I think Biel Barry he must have got that. But I mean, but I think from an Irish point of view, McCluskey must be the one up there, wouldn't he be?
Did you see that Balakoon got breakthrough player of the year? Is he like 28 or something like that? Like normally doesn't that go to someone that's 12? He like breakthrough player.
Well, geez, it was the game, the weekend for all the young fellas. Did you see the young fella from Arsenal? 16 years of age?
Yeah.
Scoring a goal, youngest ever player to score in Premier League history. And then Kimi Antonelli, the Formula 1 driver, 19, winning the Formula 1 as well. Jesus,
absolutely. It reminded me of that day. Remember we did that team bonding out in Mondello Park?
I missed it, unfortunately. It was good.
Did you? I actually got a prize. Everyone competes on like times and ways. I got a prize for the first time they've ever seen anyone using an indicator on the. They were like, we haven't seen that before. Someone indicating. They were like, what? I'm looking turkey. But you're right. Do you know what? You play the young fellas. Like, honestly, play the young fellas. Get them in the game. Just, it's so exciting. And when there's new blood around it as well, there's new kind of stories and people to get excited about. But yeah, looking at us, like Andy Farrell, 35 players used, loads of injuries. What a brilliant Six Nations for us, you know?
It really was. It was Max Dowman. He's a young fella. He's been scouted by the football scouts since he was 4 years of age. How insane is that?
But do you know what I was glad about it? Because it always annoys me when the keeper comes up for the last ditch, kind of like, I'll get the winner, I'll be the hero. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't warm to keepers for some reason. I think their personalities kind of, you know what I mean? They're very kind of, I don't know.
They're like props. They're a bit weird, like.
I would have said wingers. It's this kind of like, this golden moment needs me, so I better go forward. I was there like, if you were deadly in around the box, man, they would have had you there all the time. Like, why do you think in the 98 minute they need you? But then for him to just
I agree.
Walk
do you know
in,
what annoyed me with it is that like he's up in the box, whatever, misses out on the header, getting the ball. No work rate to get back. It's not like he's like, oh shit, I better go back and like taking it. He just sauntered about, like, do you know?
And you could tell they're not all that like, because everyone else in the back three or back four, whatever it is, kind of like, don't worry. His fault, not ours. 16 years of age and banging in a goal like that, mad.
Amazing. Yeah. Right, listen, we're going to do maybe another bit of a deep dive into each of the teams, and the URC is back this weekend as well. I'm hoping to go to the Ulster Connacht match. It's going to be a cracker as well. So, lots of rugby. Like, it's a bit sad, though, to go back to club rugby after, like, the excitement of the Six Nations, but it'd be great to get a bit of provincial rugby back again.
Agreed. And look, there's going to be a drop in the standard. There simply has to be. You can't keep it. Like, that is absolute cream all weekend. And what we want is development now within it. And that's what I'd love to see. Like, we know what we have in that group. Those 35 players used. And, of course, a few of them, not all of them, but I'd love to see guys coming in and be given more opportunities. Like, big no for Edwin going back, but
big even Munster. For like Sam Prendergast to get a bit of rugby again, you know, like given like,
but like that's not going to be easy.
No,
like if you think, who did I go with? Harry Byrne there. Like, it's mad now, isn't it? Like Leinster's call becomes usually influential onto what happens with Ireland going forward, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It made me
Big
think, though,
time.
Tommy, and I know you'll give out to me for saying it, but like Jack Crowley, man, you know what I mean? Unbelievable. And I was thinking, if they were naming a Lions tour this summer going, like, there he is. It's him and Finn Russell, isn't it? They're your 10s. It's just how unlucky you can be. But he never, whatever buddy's playing his performance, but just caliber of a man to not bitch, whinge, moan, sink the shoulders, non-be a team player. You know what I mean? He always...
Well, you were questioning that people never gave him any credit. I heard multiple people going on, like Driscoll straight after the match talking about Jack Crowley's fantastic. All the Leinster media were all giving him his plaudits. So there you go. He can't be complaining.
No, he's always been at that. You know what I mean? It's great now that the worm has turned, and it just shows it. It's that Laurie Fisher line. I'll never forget it. Your only currency is performance. Keep playing like that. You know what I mean? And they have to turn. They wanted to do him. They absolutely did. And he stayed.
They didn't, man.
They absolutely.
Can you not just finish it? Like, there was lots of other Munster players that played well, wasn't there?
Oh. Ty Byrne was incredible.
Anyone else?
Struggling,
aren't you? Munster players.
Yeah,
anyway, thank God for you, Jack.
Jack was great. That was great, and it's great. It's okay to say it, and well done, everyone that's finally saying it. You know what I mean? But they're all saying it because Jack made them. You know what I mean?
He played fantastic. Good on him. I'm delighted to see it as well. Right, listen, enough chat for you. Go off and enjoy Paddy's Day. Kids are causing absolute havoc here.
Look at this. Ponytails. I'm learning to do a ponytail. How are you on when it comes to ponytails?
I have one of those at home as well. I've never used it, but something very similar. Emma loves it.
So to anyone that can't see this, we're up on YouTube, but my kids have got, it's like a mannequin's head for practicing with long hair, for practicing how you do up different types of hairstyles. And I saw a thing there, I'll send it on to you. Basically, there is no group of lads that are meeting up in pubs, and it's called Pints and Ponytails. And you basically practice ponytails while going on the lash with a few of your mates.
Thankfully, my daughter can do her own ponytail now, because I was never able to do it. Never getting it tight enough. God,
it's that bit of the triple loop, isn't it? Where your wrist can't go the other one. So
I just can't do it. I cannot do it. And I remember. So annoying, actually.
Isn't it? Well, that's what you need. No, we'll set one up in Belfast. Pints and Ponytails with Tommy Bowe. Anyone keen in and around Belfast area. Actually, Tommy, before we jump, we have to say a massive thank you to everyone that came out as we finished off our national tour, as the two of us are liking to call it. Friday night, we were in Cork, and it was absolutely amazing, man. I was busting my pride. It was deadly. So just to everyone that came along, thank you so much to the live shows. We really appreciated it. We loved it.
It was so special. And the Cork was special for you. Listen, it was great. Just the 4 different spots. And just the response we got, the crack we had, the stories we were able to talk, some of the questions. It was just, it takes it out of you now and bollocks after, but it was a brilliant couple of days. And this is our last dressing room as well of the season too. So thanks to everybody who's been tuning in on a Tuesday as well and getting involved in the dressing room. Of course, we'll be here every Friday morning as normal, but Six Nations is over. We get to take a little bit more of a break.
Exactly. So if you could, we'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe or like. We're two of us haven't a notion what it does, but we've been told that it's usually helpful for the podcast. So we would really appreciate if you enjoy it too. Subscribe, like, even leave a comment. We'd really appreciate it.
Top man. Cheers. Chat later in the week.
So on, Tommy boy. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hey.
The Fela Podrick. Here we go. Here we go. Chat later, man.